The year was 1948. The world had just finished World War II. In the Middle East, another war was about to begin. A war that would change the region forever. This is the story of the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, the war that created Israel and changed the lives of both Jews and Arabs. Long ago, Palestine was part of the Ottoman Empire. After World War I, the empire collapsed and British took control of the Palestine. In 1917, British made a promise called the Balfour Declaration. It says that British supported a home for the Jewish people in Palestine, but it also said that the rights of the Arab people living there shouldn't be harmed. After this, more Jewish people started coming to Palestine. They wanted a safe place to live there after years of suffering in Europe. But the Arab people who had lived there for centuries became afraid. They thought they were losing their land and their homes. Fighting broke out between Jews and Arabs many times. British tried to stop it but failed. After World War II, millions of Jews had been killed in the Holocaust. Many survivors wanted to move to Palestine, but the Arabs didn't agree. They wanted the land for themselves. British couldn't control the situation anymore, so it asked the United Nations to make a plan. In November 1947, the United Nations made a plan. It said Palestine should be divided into two countries, one for Jews and one for Arabs. Jerusalem would belong to everyone and be under UN control. The Jewish leader accepted the plan, the Arab leaders rejected it. Soon, fighting began between Jewish and Arab groups inside Palestine. It was like a civil war. Jewish fighters groups like Haganah, Irgun and Lehi fought against Arab fighters and volunteers from nearby countries. There were battles in cities and villages. People on both sides were killed and many families had to leave their homes. British was still in charge but did nothing to stop the fighting. By early 1948, Palestine was already at war. On May 14, 1948, the British left Palestine. That same day, David Ben-Gurion, the Jewish leader, announced the creation of the State of Israel. The next day, 5 Arab countries invaded: Egypt, Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, and Iraq. The Arab countries said they were fighting to help the Arabs of Palestine. The Jews said they were fighting to protect their new country. And plus, the Arab armies were stronger. They had more soldiers, tanks, and airplanes. The Jews had fewer weapons and little training, but the Jews were well organized and determined. They joined all their forces together to create the Israel Defense Forces called the IDF. At the start, the Arab armies moved forward. Egypt attacked from the south and captured towns near Gaza. Jordan's armies took East Jerusalem and the Old City. Jerusalem was under siege. Jewish people in the city had little food or medicine. Israel managed to get new weapons from the Czechoslovakia, which helped a lot. In June 1948, the UN called for a truce, a short stop in the fighting. Both sides used this time to rest and get more weapons. A UN peacekeeper, Count Pog Bernadotte, tried to make peace, but no one agreed with his plan. By July 1948, Israel was stronger. Its army had more soldiers and better weapons. Now Israel started attacking. In Operation Dani, the Israeli army took the towns of Leda and Ramli, and many Arab people had to leave their homes. In Operation Dekel, Israel captured the Galilee area in the north. In the south, Operation Yoav pushed back the Egyptian army in the Negev desert. The Arab armies began to retreat. By the end of 1948, Israel had gained control over much of the land. Between February and July 1949, Israel signed armistice agreements, peace deals with Egypt, Lebanon, Jordan, and Syria. These were not full peace treaties, only agreements to stop fighting. The new lines were called the Green Lines. After the war, Israel controlled about 78% of Palestine, more than what the UN had planned upward. Jordan took the West Bank and East Jerusalem. Egypt controlled the Gaza Strip. The war created a great tragedy for the Arab people of Palestine. More than 7 lakh Palestinians left their homes or were forced to flee. Many villages were destroyed or left empty. The people became refugees in Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, and Gaza. Most of them never returned. Palestinians called this the Nakba, which means the catastrophe. For the Jews, the war was seen as a miracle, the birth of their own country after years of suffering. The war ended, but peace didn't come. Jerusalem was divided. Israel controlled the west, Jordan the east. Palestinian refugees lived in the camps waiting to go home. The borders were tense and there was no trust between the sides. More wars followed in 1956, 1967 and 1973, but the main problem stayed the same: two peoples both wanting the same land. The 1948 Arab-Israeli War was not just about land, it was about identity, history and survival. It ended British rule, created Israel, and began the Palestinian refugee crisis. The war made two stories, one of freedom, one of tragedy, and both stories are still alive today. The borders, the refugees, and the search for peace all began in 1948. That year changed the Middle East forever, and its story is still not over.